स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम्। नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः। नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः। यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम्। स्वधर्मज्ञानवैराग्य साध्यभक्त्येकगोचरः नारायणः परम् ब्रह्म गीताशास्त्रे समीरितः। श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि।
ऐश्वर्य अक्षर याथात्म्य भगवत चरणार्थिनाम् वेद्य उपादेय भावानाम् अष्टमे भेद उच्यते। Shanta Madam can read through the English part of it.
The varieties relating to the things that are to be known and those have to be adopted severally by the seekers after Sri supramundane sovereignty. The true nature of the indestructible self in its pure state and the feet of God are mentioned in the 8th chapter.
Thank you. So we'll have the Sanskrit verse 12 from Sri Yamunacharya's Gitartha Sangraha, and followed by the Sri Gitartha Sangaraksha, blessed by Sri Vedanta Deshpa. So, Aishwarya Akshara Yathatmya, I read it again. Bhagavat Charana Arthinam Vedya Upadeya Bhavanam Ashtame Bheda. The difference, Bhedaha, last but one word, Bhedaha. Bhedaha Uchyate. The Visarga is because of conjunction. It's dropped because of conjunction. So the difference, the differentiation among there are 3 or 4 aspects. Number 1, Aishwarya, then Akshara, then Yathatmya, then Bhagavat Charana, then Arthinam, then Vedya Upadeya Bhavanam. So there are people who seek the divine feet of God. So they seek generally they seek the divine feet of the God. They have Aishwarya as their goal, Akshara as their goal, and Yathatmya as their goal. But given varieties developed relating to the Veda is a variety here. To be known is Vedya. Upadeya is those who have to be adopted. Upadeya means which it must be received. Then Bhavanam is what we call the emotions, the attitudes. Ashtame in the 8th chapter, Uchyate is being said. Now the special word in English is supramundane. Supramundane sovereignty. Yeah. The supramundane sovereignty is Yathatmya. Yathatmya is supramundane. Sovereignty can say Aishwarya. And Akshara is indestructible. Akshara is indestructible. Akshara is indestructible. Aishwarya is sovereignty. Yathatmya is the supramundane. It's also there self in its pure state. So there is also Yathatmya in the bracket. Feet of God, Bhagavat Charana. So the translation is complete. But the only thing is Bhavanam has not been translated here because it is given as things. Generally, the word thing is not to be used in English unless warranted. So things must be replaced by the attitudes or emotions. But be better attitude. Yeah. Our feelings towards the Lord. Okay. So let's go to the commentary. Unless you want anything to be said on this verse. Because by commentary, we can understand deeply each word. So again, it's a beautiful verse by Sri Yamunacharya because the first line refers to the individual soul as well as the Supreme Soul. That's the beauty here. Aishwarya, Akshara, Yathatmya. So again, the intermediary stage of the emancipation, namely Kaivalya, where Atma Sakshatkara is aimed at, the realization of the self. You are first to understand the self, understand the individual soul, and then the Supreme Soul. The Supreme Soul, understanding the Supreme Soul, in the sense, understand the difference between the individual and the Supreme Souls. And finally, we call the moksha as the Kainkarya. And again, for a prapanna, it's priti, affection of the Lord. So here, the sovereignty in the first translation is now explained as what is Aishwarya. Now let us have the commentary. This is number 62, right? Aishwaryam Atra. I have been telling you as it is normally understood in Tamil as wealth. It is not wealth, it is leadership. Wealth may give you some leadership, but leadership is what we call noble quality to guide others. You must have the guts to guide others. So Aishwaryam Atra here. So these are some posts, P-O-S-T-S, status. The statuses, you say. They are given to so many people. Here, Indra, it is in the ascending order. Please remember, Indra is not the descending order. He is not the first. So Indra is the third in the list. Then second is, of course, Prajapati is rather first. So it is not in the order, not even the ascending order. So it is a jumbled one. So Indra, Prajapati and Pashupati. Pashupati is Lord Shiva. Prajapati is Lord Brahma. Indra is Lord of gods. So Indra, Prajapati, Pashupati, Bhogebhyaha. Why, I don't know, the juxtaposition of these two words, Pati will be repeated consecutively. Prajapati, Pashupati. Of course, he could have given first Prajapati, then Pashupati, then Indra. We can't dictate terms to Swami Vedanta Deshika. There must be some purpose in maybe in what we call pride. Indra is higher than the highest among the three. Prajapati is the next, whereas Pashupati, the Lord of what you call Bhuta, Bhutesha, Bhutapati. Pashu meaning living being. Bhuta is also a living being, sentient being. He is Lord of sentient being. Of course, we say that he is a God for destruction. But he is a Lord of all living beings, Pashupati. Indra Prajapati, so Pashupati is better than Brahma and Indra in his what we call. We just now saw the word bhava, disposition or emotion or attitude. He is better than the other two. Why? Because he realized that his grandfather, namely Lord Vishnu, is the real Lord, real Almighty. In Kumar Sambhava, of a great Mahakavya, a great epic by Kalidasa, is the first attempt by him to write a big epic. Initially, he wrote what we call Ritu Samhara, the description of 6 seasons. Ritu is season, Samhara is collection. Samhara also can mean killing. Here it is collection. So Ritu Samhara, the collection of Ritu seasons, it was the first initial work of Kalidasa. Later on, he started writing the first great epic, Kumar Sambhavam. And then in Kumar Sambhavam, he says, Lord Shiva is meditating upon. Meditating upon whom? It is meditating upon Atma, he says. Atma. What is Atma here? Atma. What is Atma for Pashupati? It is Lord Sriman Narayana. That we must understand. So Pashupati is meditating upon Lord Sriman Narayana. So now the Bhoga is what is enjoyment of the status. Indra is the leader of 33 crores of gods. He thinks that he is also the leader for 66 crores of demons. And therefore he wants to usurp the kingdom of demons also. He wants to have, because you don't have a leader for demons except the teacher for demons, Asura Guru Shukracharya. We have Deva Guru Brihaspati. But whereas for gods and demons only, there is only one leader, that is Indra. Therefore he is proud. Then Prajapati is proud because he is a creator. So Prajapatihi, the Prajanam Patihi, the Lord of the subjects, Lord of the people. It means people, living people. Because he has created, they are living. He thinks that, Lord Creator thinks that people are living because of his creation. And the problem with people is these three are, they give boons and they get caught. And therefore, Bhogepyaha, they are enjoying their status. It's also Atishayita Bhoga. Now Aishwaryam refers to the Supreme Soul's status, the highest status, more than these three, Indra, Prajapati and Pashupati. Atishayita Bhoga, wonderful enjoyment, wonderful status. Wonderful status, better than these three. So that is the Supreme Soul's leadership, Aishwaryam. Atishayita Bhoga. Atishayita, generally we know the word Ascharya, Atishayam, Adbhutam, are all synonyms in Sanskrit. But this particular word Atishayita means excel. Atishayita means excel. Shayita doesn't mean here is of course reclining pose, is a sleeping pose, sleeping posture. But that is not the way. And Atishayita is it is Atishayita Bhoga, maybe better. I don't know whether the original has got Atishayita Bhoga. It's a past tense, what you call passive voice verb. Atishayita Bhoga. Okay, even if it is Atishayita Bhoga, Atishayita meaning surpassing, excelling. So his status is surpassing over all other three. Then Akshara Yathatmyam is given as one expression here, one set. Akshara Yathatmyam. Vivikta Atma Swarupam. Again, remember, what is the original form? Yathatmyam is the original natural form, or nature, original nature. Yathatmyam. As is, where is condition. Akshara is indestructible. So Atma, neither Jivatma nor Paramatma is destructible. Therefore, there is no question of. That's why I told you these two words you can say the first quarter. Aishwaryam, Akshara Yatatmyam belong to or owned by both the individual soul and the Supreme Soul. So Akshara is indestructible, Yatatmyam is the original form, and that is to be understood as Vivikta Atma Swarupam, meaning between Jivatma and Paramatma we have differences, and that difference is to be understood. Then Vedyaha too is given as plural, though in the compound word it is Vedya and Upadeya is given in a singular form. Generally in a compound word only the singular form will be given, and also the what we call Pratipadikam will be given. The root word form will be given. Not the exact word what we use in Vigraha Vakyam, splitting the compound word, what you call parsing, P-A-R-S-I-N. When you parse, you get the original word, the word that has been attached to a compound word. Here, the two words are plural in Bahuvachana. Number one is Vedyaha, the second one is Upadeyaha. So it's combined together as Vedyopadeya in the verse of Sri Gita Sangraha of Sri Yamunacharya. The two words are combined together. Vedya Upadeya. I think, can you show me the verse? Yeah, Bhavanam. Vedyopadeya Bhavanam. So Vedya Bhavanam, Upadeya Bhavanam. You can say in two ways. So Vedyaha and Upadeyaha both are plural in nature, Bahuvachanam. And then Vedyanam Bhavanam, Upadeyanam Bhavanam. Again, you can convert it into Shakti Vibhakti, genitive case or possessive case in both words. We come to the commentary. So Vedya is fit to be known. Generally, Vedya meaning fit to be known, that which is fit to be known, that which deserves to be known. And Upadeya, that which deserves to be received. I can say receivable, so receivable. So Upadeyaha. That means acceptability. Acceptability is what we call Upadeyaha. So what is that? Vedyaha. Vedyaha too. But those which are to be known, Aksharam Brahma Paramam Ityadina Uktaha Shuddha Atma Swarupa Prabhutaya. Again, there are two words saying etc., etc., etc. It's a general practice to say etc. Adi is there, etc. Then Prabhutayaha is there in the next word. Prabhutayaha. Again, etc. And others. You can say and others. So what is and others? You must find out that the full definition or full explanation of what is Lord Almighty. Aksharam Brahma Paramam. That is to be understood. That is to be known. What is to be understood? Paramam Brahma, otherwise called Param Brahma, or otherwise called Parabrahma. You can say it anyway. Paramam Brahma or Param Brahma or Parabrahma. In one word you can say Parabrahma. In two words you can say Paramam Brahma and Param Brahma. So that will be Aksharam. That will be indestructible. What do you call? You can also say immutable. Avyaya. Avyayam or Avyayaha. If it is Napumsakalinga, Avyayam. Therefore Aksharam. The so let us not take the negative word indestructible, meaning ever present. That's all. Nityam. Nityam is known by the word Aksharam. Not only indestructible, irreducible also. The literal meaning of the word Aksharam is irreducible. So just one example is when he is taking incarnation, when Lord Sriman Narayana is taking incarnation, the incarnation, the figure, Vigraha of those incarnations also are called Sattva Guna filled. Aprakrita Tirumeni in Tamil, of course, Aprakrita Shariram of the Lord. Everywhere in all incarnations, there is no change in the original form. That is why it's called Akshara. Please note that because Ram, whether it is Rama or Krishna, or from the very beginning, namely the fish, the tortoise, and so on, the boar, great boar, and so on, all physical frames are made up of aprakrita sattva vastu, suddha sattva. And therefore the next word says, so we must know, we must understand Aksharam Paramam Brahma, and therefore Shuddhatma Swarupa Prabhuteyaha. So we will understand the purity of the soul. Again, go on to the list. Vijaratvam, no old age. Then Apahata Papatvam, no sin can be attached. Then Shiyapatitvam, the husbandhood of Mahalakshmi. Then Anantatvam, the endlessness. Then you've got Amaratvam, that's all. Then Amalatvam, the purity. And these are all what you call ever constantly present and so on. And constant also. So Shuddhatma Swarupa Prabhati. Swarupa, original form. Shuddhatma is Lord Almighty. He is a pure soul. Doesn't mean, of course, the individual soul is impure. They sometimes tend to be impure only in this mortal world, in Leela Vibhuti. That's all. Otherwise, all souls, either individual or the Supreme Soul, are pure in nature. Pure in the sense, Shuddha meaning Shuddha Sattva. The Sattva quality. Sattva meaning the quality. The best quality, and there is nothing nothing better than this. So Upadeyaha tu. Again, I remind you that it is plural. What has to be accepted? Tat Ishtaphala Anurupa Parama Purusha Chintamantima Pratyaya Gati Chintanadaya. Now again, there is a doubt about Chintamanti. Antima Pratyaya Gati Chintanadaya, okay, but it's not Chintama. The original must be seen, and the commentary must be also seen. Tattate Ishtaphala Anurupa Parama Purusha. That's okay. So Chinta, it cannot be Chintama. Sorry. Tat, that each and every, tat. Ishta, favorite. Phala, result. Anurupa, congenial. Paramapurusha, the Lord. Again, I find that the word chintana will not be repeated. Because Chintanadaya is there already. It cannot be Chintana, but Chintama is wrong. Antima Pratyaya Gati Chintanadaya. Let me refer to my small Tamil book which I may have. If it is so,
Here's the original.
this is the original. Okay. Yeah, I guess, sorry. It is right. It is right. What I said is the repetition of the word Chintana. Okay. You have to correct it. You have to correct the screen word. The word in the screen is wrong.
Sure. Okay. So what do we got? Chintana.
Chintana is repeated twice. Chintana is repeated twice. Yes. Ma is wrong. Na. Chintanantima.
Chintana. Whoops.
Chintana. Chintanantima. Again, intima. NTI.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's okay. So, yeah. How did the mistake creep in? I don't know.
Human error. Sorry.
Human. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I am the human. I made the error.
So so now we can get the meaning very easily. So tat means that and that, meaning all. So because each what you call each individual soul seeks something from him differently. That's why we saw that Trivida Adhikara earlier, and three types of devotees that we saw: Aishwaryarthi, Moksharthi, and Kaivalyarthi. So this is what tat. So you can also say tasya, because tasya will give the point out the exact person who seeks something. So he wants to have his own fruit. Tat ishta phala. Because he likes it. He likes only Aishwarya, therefore he is Aishwaryarthi. Because he likes Kaivalya, he is only Kaivalyarthi. And he is Moksharthi. The third one is Moksharthi. So Tattad Ishta Phala. Now, what is the attitude towards the devotee, the individual soul of the Supreme Soul is Anurupa. Whenever an individual soul goes after Aishwarya, Lord grants his wish, fulfills the desire of the other two devotees also, Kaivalyarthi and Moksharthi. So moksha is given there, is according to his wish. Because he seeks moksha, he is given moksha. And that is, we have a verse from Sri Vedanta Deshika in what you call Bhagavad-dhyana Sopanam. Bhagavad-dhyana Sopanam, Amalanadipiran is the base, or rather fundamental source for Vedanta Deshika to transcreate Bhagavad-dhyana Sopanam. Amalanadipiran is by Tirupanalvar. And Tirupanalvar went into the sanctum sanctorum and became one with the Lord. And you know the story behind it. If you want it, we can take it up later. So, Amalanadipiran in Tamil, just 10 verses of the Alvar have been created in the form of Bhagavad-dhyana Sopanam. Though Amalanadipiran is a jumbled way of enjoying the entire figure of the Lord Sri Ranganatha from foot to head. Sri Vedanta Deshika gives a very specific ascendance from the foot to the head, what we call Vishnu Padadi Keshanta Stotram, as titled by Sri Shankaracharya. And he has also written, Shankaracharya also has composed Vishnu Keshadi Padanta Stotram, starting from head to foot. Generally, we go from foot to head. And Narayaniyam of Narayana Bhattatri in the last Dashakam of the book explains the, or rather contains the description of foot to head, Padadi Keshanta Stotra. That is here. What happens in the Bhagavad Gita Sopanam is, though it is said in different terms by Tripana, the Amalan, Vimalan, what you call Shuddhatma. We have so many words for even Shuddhatma. Amalanadi Piran, Amalan. And then Vimalan also. There are a lot of explanations why the same synonym is used in a different fashion. So here, he says, Antarjyotihi kimapi yaminam anjanam yoga drishtehe Chintaratnam sulabham ihanaha. The next expression is very important. Siddhi moksha anurupam. That is what here we call it anurupam. So Siddhi in Vedanta Deshika's words is called success. Success in life here, in this world. So we seek success in life here. And then moksha anurupam. So we got the desire to get the salvation, and therefore moksha anurupam. So he condescends, Lord Almighty condescends to our wish and fulfills our desire. That is the meaning of the word anurupam. Very interesting that Lord Almighty is interested in every one of the individual souls. Because we have got millions and billions of souls, with infinity. The souls are many. And therefore, for everybody is acceding to the request. So Anurupa. But he is Almighty, Paramapurusha. The highest being coming down to favor the individual soul is very great, and therefore we call it as Saushilyam and Saulabhyam. He has easy accessibility and he doesn't mind the status. So Chintana, now we are going to meditate upon that. So Paramapurusha Chintana. So when we think of him in different ways, with different wishes, different desires, then we have Antima Pratyaya Gati Chintana. We also have this thought. Everybody has this thought. Every individual has got this thought. The thought process ends only here. Though initially we seek for Aishwaryam and Kaivalyam, and so many other things also. So pleasures of this world. We seek all kinds of comforts in this human life. Beyond that, so what do we do? When we reach a ripe age, we will think of the end of the life. So Antima is the end. Then we have the Pratyaya. Pratyaya is the confidence that we repose in him, faith that we have. So in Prapatti Yoga, you understand, as a Prapanna, you understand, you are a believer, you are a total believer. We call that step as Rakshishyati iti Mahavishwasaha. That is Pratyayaha. Mahavishwasaha is Pratyayaha. So Antima Pratyaya, the final confidence, we can say, Not Antima will join with Gati. Antima Gati. Where is the destination? Where will will all be going? All the individual souls will be reaching what finally? So Pratya Gati. So that Gati destination, the goal, the final place, that is to be Chintan. That is to be thought of. So that we must worry about. Chinta also means worry. Therefore, he has given us Chintanam. Chintanam is a beautiful word coming out of Chinta. Chint, the root, to think. So Chintanam is meditation, tapas, penance, so many other things also. You can also include the other like yaga, homa, all these are all Chintanam. Our daily anushtanam, daily duties performed also is Chintanam. I told you already, Karma Yoga contains Jnana Yoga also. And the Chintanam is out of Bhakti also. Therefore, all the three yogas are involved, but Pratyaya is Prapatti Yoga. So, Antima Pratyaya Gati Chintanam. So, with all faith, with full confidence, you think of the Lord, you think of the destination, and that will be earlier that you are getting all the fruits that you wanted. Then after fulfilling all the desires, now we also can say that we are ready to stop them. We are ready to go beyond the wishes that we had, and then we will reach the Lord by the meditation. And that will be Chintanam is again corresponds to Jnana and Bhakti, because I mean Chintanam is the action, the mental action. That is also Karma Yoga. I told you all mix up of all the three yogas, and Prapatti Yoga is Pratyaya. Again, we'll have all the four yogas given there. So Chintanam is by doing the action, we have a thought over the action. What is the result of the action? What is the purpose of the action? Why is the action? And then Jnana Yoga, the wisdom dawns upon us that we have to realize Him. And first we realize this individual soul and then the Supreme Soul. And finally, we seek for the Preeti, affection of the Lord, that will be Chintan. So again, the thought process is so continuous and it is uninterrupted between two yoga, karma and jnana and bhakti and prapatti. So that will be the meaning of this particular sentence. Then te eva, the word ta by conjunction it is ta, but it will be te. Te meaning they. English They. Sanskrit is just single letter. Te. So te eva bhava, te eva only they only. So they only. Bhavaha is, I told you, attitude, emotions, and so on. So our disposition towards that. What is that? Towards our wishes and towards our antima pratyaya gati chintan. That is what we call bhava. How do we go about that thinking? That is again given as padartha. Padartha, generally in Sanskrit or even Tamil, we use the word padartha, meaning tangible objects. An object that can be touched. That is padartha. Padartha means materials, generally. But here it is not so. Padartha. Padartha is the meaning of the word. The meaning of the words. Now again, what is the meaning of the words is, you can start from even the beginning. Akshaya, what we call Indra, Prajapati, Pashupati, Bhogaha. So starting from the word, so we compare ourselves, we compare ourselves to Indra. We want to compare ourselves to Indra. We want to compare ourselves to Prajapati and also Pashupati. Then we understand their bhoga, their enjoyment. Then what Keshav Swami pointed out by highlight, Aksharam Brahma Paramam. So we will first think of Indra. Why not we become the leader of the gods? Because many people tried. We can give you examples. Sagara, the king Sagara. So many people tried to perform 100 Ashwamedha yagas so that they can become Indra. So aspiration to become Indra. Aspire to become Indra. That is why the Indra Bhoga is now is sought after. Then we can say Prajapati. I also feel when I write a poem, a small stanza, I think I am the creator, Prajapati. When we beget children, we also think that we are Prajapatis. And therefore, so many other, so from small to a big one. We always want to create. Whenever we compose anything, we think we are the creators. Again, Satvika Tyaga is to be remembered. Then Pashupati. In Pashupati also we have a role. We have an imagination that we are Pashupatis. In the sense, we destroy things also. Easily we destroy things. We destroy insects. So Pashupati. So again, we look at the position of these three, then we understand that they are all mean positions. The next position, highest position is Aksharam Param, Brahma Paramam. So we realized later that we must reach only the Lord. We want to become one with the Lord. According to Advaita, in Vishishta Advaita also, Vishishta Advaita, so oneness in three things except Sayujyam, Samipyam, Salokyam and Sarupyam. And therefore, so that is what we call Padarthaha, Bhavaha Padarthaha. The meaning of the words should give rise to emotions, attitudes. And then Tesham Vedaha. Then what is the difference among them? Tesham, here it is, you can say among them. So of them it meaning, the Their. Then Vedaha, the difference. Then Tat Adhikara Anurupaha Vishesha. Again, Lord is favorable. Lord is adjustable. So Tat again Tasya. That is, three people are there. So Adhikara, right, is there. The Anurupaha is favorite form. What is favorite form? Lord Sriman Narayana gives us whatever we want according to our wish. That will be Vishesha. That will be the speciality of Sriman Narayana. When you go to Indra, you can get something out of him by performing penance. You can provoke him. You can make him restless. And then he will be, in turn, he will only request Lord Creator or Pashupati, the Lord Shiva, to grant boons to the performer of penance. So he cannot by himself grant boons. So he will be a recommending authority. Then Prajapati and Pashupati will be granting boons. So there are Tatta Adhikara. Even to them, he is Lord Sriman Narayana is very favorable. Otherwise, they cannot work. Indra cannot work peacefully. But again, he is disturbed also often so that he doesn't forget the Lord. He has to remind himself about the Lord, and therefore frequent trouble is given to him. By 66 crores of demons, double the number of the gods. And plus, of course, then Prajapati is saved. Pashupati is also protected by the Lord, and therefore Adhikara Anurup. And whenever they give boons, Lord accepts those boons, and then he never finds fault with this Prajapati or Pashupati. but he finds a way to compensate in different terms the boon. And he finds solutions to the problems created by the boons. And therefore, adhikara anurupa. Here we are referring to the small group, namely the three people group, namely Aishwarya Arthi, Kaivalya Arthi, and Moksha. So that is the speciality of Lord Sriman Narayana. That meaning Lord Sriman Narayana is to be understood here as the most compassionate living being. And therefore that is the essence of this 8th chapter. That can be called as the essence of the 8th chapter. I think I'm right, but if there is some change in thought because of the next commentary, maybe on 12, I think 12 is over. If it is over by this paragraph, the
Yes.
commentary on number 12.
12 is over. 12 is over. Do you want to see the verse? Aksharam Brahma Brahma
Yeah,
Paramam?
that is yeah. I think that is from Bhagavad Gita. Or,
Yes, verse 3 of 8th chapter.
okay, that's better. The Supreme Personality of, okay, Aksharam Brahma Paramam Svabhavo Adhyatmam Uchyate Bhuta Bhava Udbhava Karaha Visargaha Karma Sannitaha. Lord himself says this. So Aksharam, the indestructible, can Govindacharya Swami read through the English translation?
Govindacharya is not logged on right now. I can read it. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the self. Action pertaining to the development of the material bodies of the living entities is called karma, or fruitive activities. Fruitive, I'm not sure I can see
Okay.
that. Fruitive activities, and that's Gita 8.3.
So fruit of the or fruitive activity. Fruitive action.
Yeah.
Fruitive action. The ends in fruitive action. Called the karma or fruitive action.
Fruitive activities, it said here, but action is the same thing.
Okay. Fruitive activity. You can make it even with the smaller fonts. So this is number 1, the Bhagavan Uvacha. So Aksharam Param Brahma Paramam that we saw in the earlier paragraph. Swabhavaha, the original nature. Swabhavaha. Adhyatmam. Adhyatmam meaning supreme soul. Just like we saw the word Atishayita Bhogaha, we say Adi. Adi meaning surpassing. Adi meaning over and above. So Atma is individual soul. Adhyatma is supreme soul. What we call superimposed on this individual soul, he has got the supremacy. Therefore called Adhyatma Uchyate. Adhyatmam Uchyate. Then Bhuta Bhava Udbhava Karaha Visargaha. Now the English word indestructible corresponds to Aksharam. Then transcendental living entity is Brahma Paramam. Paramam is transcendental. Living entity is Brahma. It's called the Brahman. The eternal nature is Adhyatmam. Eternal nature is Svabhavaha. I say original nature. And then the self, it means self. Then Bhuta Bhava. Bhuta is a living entity in English, living entity. Rather, a material body of the living entity. That's called Bhuta. Then Bhava is here it is it should be understood as again attitude, here given as action. So Udbhavakaraha. Udbhava is creation. Udbhava is creation. Karaha means fruit. The fruit of the creation. The fruit of the creation is what we call Bhuta Bhava. Along with the creation of the individual souls and also the what we call Achetana Vastu, the insentient objects in this world, Leela Vibhuti, will be included in Udbhavakara. Udbhavakara. So Udbhavakara is called Visargaha. Sargaha means creation. Visargaha means special creation. I think it is not mentioned here. Yeah. Visargaha means Visargaha is, for a beginner in Sanskrit. Visarga meaning a colon. But here is Sargaha means creation. Visargaha means the best creation. The best creation is individual souls are created. The individual souls are created with the attitude, right attitude. So Bhuta Bhava Udbhavakaraha. The individual souls are made to realize that they are different from the Lord. Not only they are different from the Lord, we have got other words. People will find fault with when we repeat the word slavery, slavishness, and subservience, the status of subservience too. But it is what we call real in the sense it has to be accepted without any objection. We cannot object to the activities of the Lord also. We cannot question him. He is not questionable. And therefore that is to be understood. That is what we call Bhuta Bhava. So even in creation, even while he is creating, he is injecting his attitude in the individual soul. And then lastly, karma samnitaha. Now we understand the individual souls by their actions. The actions are showing their bhavas. Suppose I think that I am the doer of the action, then I have no bhakti, I have no jnana, I have no wisdom. So our action clearly shows our bhava, our attitude. So karma samnita. And when we are in a higher plane, when we have performance of action, understanding of the action, namely wisdom, acquiring the wisdom, then finally practicing the devotion, and then total surrender to God, all these refer to our bhava, our right bhava, our right attitude towards the Lord. So that is a beautiful meaning of this. I think the number, Gita 8.3. Okay. Generally, after the verse, the number of the chapter and the number of the verse is denoted. Here it is at the end of the paragraph in English. Okay, good. We must always thank profusely the organizer, the host.
So, Swami, if anybody has any questions before me, questions or comments are welcome at this time before I make mine.
None from my side, Swami.
Okay, so I had one comment. I had one comment that you were mentioning there are 66 crores of asuras or demons.
Oh, yeah.
So there's twice as many asuras as there are devatas, as gods.
Yeah.
Really? So I mean, it's not,
You asking the pramana? I think we can find out some.
okay. It sounds a little bit uneven that there are so many more
Yeah.
demons. Okay, so then I think in the original verse, if I can look it up. Oh, in the commentary, it was talking about that we should meditate. We're supposed to
Our wishes.
chintana, or we're supposed to think or meditate on the Parama Purusha, and also upon Gati.
Yeah.
Now, Gati, to me, Gati means two things. It means Sri Vaikuntham, because if there are three adhikaris. There are three different types of people. So the people who want material gain, they meditate upon the material gain. But the people who want kaivalya, or isolation, that type of liberation, they meditate on that. But the mumukshus, the people who want moksha, they meditate upon moksha. Moksha meaning Sri Vaikuntham, but in the sense of prapanas, it also means kainkarya. So they should meditate on the kainkarya. Is that right?
Yeah, we must remember to add preeti, affection of the Lord.
Okay. We have to meditate on the affection, on what will please Him. Yeah. So I think naturally, when we think about doing service to the Lord, we're thinking about what will please Him.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the other thing was, I was interested that this verse 8.3. This verse number 12 of Gita Sangraha is got to do with the 8th chapter, and the only verse which has been highlighted by Vedanta Deshika in his Raksha is the 3rd verse.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he didn't feel that the other verses were worth really talking about too much, and that this 3rd verse encapsulates the meanings, the subject matter of the whole chapter. Sometimes it reminded me that this verse seems to be very important to the Swaminarayan group in Gujarat.
Oh.
They talk about Akshara. Their place is called Akshara Dham, and they talk about Akshara a lot.
Yeah.
And Swaminarayan, in case people don't know, Swaminarayan was a disciple of Ramanand, and Ramanand is supposed to be a Manasika disciple of Ramanuja. So in a dream, he got Samashranam from Ramanuja. He didn't live at the same time. So both Ramanand and his disciple Swaminarayan, or Swaminarayan's actual name is Sahajananda Swami. Both of them say that they follow Vishishtadvaita Vedanta. They follow Ramanuja's Sampradaya. So this Ramanand and Swaminarayan, they are considered to be offshoots of Sri Sampradaya. So, but recently, and in the book for his disciples, Swaminarayan says that we follow the Gita Bhashya and Sri Bhashya of Ramanuja, right? However, recently the Swaminarayan group in Gujarat, and I know that some of them have come to South India, to Melkote, and studied Sri Bhashyam under Sri Vaishnavas. But recently they have published a new commentary on Prasthanatraya, on the 3 Prasthanatrayas, and they have one of their groups, the biggest group of Swaminarayans, have said that they now separate themselves from Sri Sampradaya and they have their own commentary, so they want to be known as separate. And their philosophy is based on this idea of Akshara Brahma. They have some strange ideas, but this verse is very important for them. Whereas I don't find it to be a very important verse for most other Vaishnava sects. I don't see it being quoted very much by Sri Vaishnavas or by any other sect of Vaishnavas. So, I mean, that was my comment, and I don't know why Vedanta Deshika has only singled this one out. Maybe it does seem to have encapsulated the meanings of the 8th chapter, but I don't know if
the essence of the 8th chapter lies in this verse itself.
Yeah.
And again, we must look into Shankaracharya's commentary on this particular verse, if possible, and then we can decide the importance of the verse.
And also the Gita, and also Ramanuja's commentary too.
That is obvious, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. So we should look at those things. So I'll see if I can have a look at those things, and maybe we can do that. But apart from that, it seems like the 12th chapter. I mean, sorry, excuse me, the 12th verse. The 12th verse of Gita Sangraha, which equals the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What I usually do is a rule of thumb for everybody to remember is there are four verses of Gita Sangraha which come before the enumeration of the individual chapters.
Yeah.
There's a summary of the whole Gita and a summary of the 3 hexads, the three divisions of 6 chapters. So what I do is simply just whatever verse of Gita Sangraha we're on, subtract 4, and you get the verse, the chapter of the Gita which we're talking about. Up until we get to verse 22, it'll be like that. Okay, so that was all I wanted to mention.
Keshavji, I just have a follow-up comment to that. But I think Vedanta Deshika here is making a point that the seeker of Akshara or Vaikunta gets Vaikunta. That's all. I don't think there is anything to dwell deeply here on the word Akshara or any such thing. And I also
can you be louder? Can you increase your decibel?
Yes, sir. Sir, I think Vedanta Deshika here only employs the word Akshara to say that a seeker of moksha gets moksha. That's all. There is nothing more to explain to it. I think he's being concise here and he's summarized it. And it is very well understood that there is no end by time, or there is no end by space. There is no desha paricheda or kala paricheda to the moksha swarupa. That is why it is akshara. So it as a concept is not huge, but because it can be very simply put in the philosophical terms.
Right, you have thrown light on. It's a good explanation which you have given. There's an angle on that line also. Akshara, you can say a granter of wish quickly, a quick granter of wish. I can say Akshara, and again, as you say, he is beyond time, place. That is always understood. He is beyond time, he is beyond place. And therefore, wherever we are, wherever is the individual soul is, wherever this Indra, Prajapati and Pashupati are, because they are also individual souls. They are also almost like us. Only that the difference is they have high status. Otherwise, they are as good as individuals. And here, the Akshara, indestructible. I told you in the beginning, it is not only indestructible, but irreducible also. And again, as you said, beyond, it goes beyond time and place.
It covers all concepts of God in one word.
Yeah, right. Good.
Yeah.
And Sri Vedanta Deshika has not, I think, mentioned the whole verse here in the commentary because it is enough. We understand Aksharam Brahma Paramam. So that is the essence of this 8th chapter.
Yeah.
And for the view of Keto Das Swami, I would say, yes, again I say, he selected, Swami Deshika selected this verse because it is enough that you say in short this verse to give us the essence of the 8th chapter. Not that all other verses are unimportant, but the first verse said by Lord Krishna to Arjuna is very important. So with this, I think we'll take up the next session, and unless today in the discussion of Srimad Ragasya Trayasara, we had certain passages repeated, and we had a session yesterday on Sri Vaishnava, and generally it is known by all. There was a very interesting note on two people, two great devotees' attitude. Now we are talking about attitude. Bhavaha padarthaha. Number one, Tirumangay Alvar, the king. Two kings were there among the 12 apostles. And two of them are, one is Kulashekara of Kerala and Tirumangay Mannan, Tirumangay Alvar. He composed his Pasuram on a particular Archavatara deity called Tirucherai Nachiyar temple near Kumbhakonam. And this is only to highlight, please remember, this is only to highlight the greatness of a Sri Vaishnava, the greatness of the devotee of Lord Sriman Narayana. That is more important. So he said, whoever worshipped the Archavatara in Tirucherai, Nachiyar temple, the name of the Lord in Archavatara is Saranatha, the Lord of Essence. And the goddess is named Saranayika or Saranayaki. And then the Pushkarini, the tank, is called Sara Pushkarini, the water in essence. Then the Vimana, the doom, is called Sara Vimana. That is with reference, the Vriksha is also Sara Vriksha, Sthala Vriksha. So Sara Natha, Sara Nayika, Sara Pushkarini, Sara Vimanam, and Sara Vriksha. So with this, this is called Panchasara Kshetra, Panchasara Kshetra. 5 Sara, 5 essence are there. So Tirumangay Alvar said in his Periya Tirumozhi, a Vaishnava is a devotee of the Lord who worshipped the temple, worshipped the Lord at this temple, is very, very great, that I wish he places his foot on my head. Tirumangay Alvar said, the devotee who visited this temple and had a darshan of the Lord will place his foot on my head. That is the greatness of the devotee. And then it was said that Parashara Bhatta the priest of the big temple, the Ranganatha temple in Srirangam, was also requested to visit this temple along with other devotees once upon a time. A group of devotees invited Parashara Bhatta to accompany them to worship the Lord at Tirucherai. And he said, I am not going to accompany you. I don't want to come there. Now the incident, of course, this will be incident will be corroborated later as by Sri Madhavacharya Swami. He said he will let out the secret later. Why Parashara Bhatta refused to go with the other devotees to worship Tirucherai Saranatha Lord temple. Here he said, because Tirumangayalvar already said that a devotee of Lord will place his foot on Tirumangayalvar's head, and I don't want to place my foot on the head of Tirumangayalvar, and therefore I don't want to go. This is again stressing the importance of the Sri Vaishnava, and a Sri Vaishnava should never be offended in modesty. He should not be hurt in any form. He should not be insulted, and therefore, in any way, more than the Lord, the devotee is more important. The devotee is to be respected in all forms, even more than the Lord. So to stress this point, these two people, Tirumangayalvar and Parashara Bhattar. Parashara Bhattar is called the 14th Alvar. The 13th Alvar is Sri Ramanuja. 12 Alvars which we all of us know. The 13th Alvar is Sri Ramanuja. The 14th Alvar is Parashara Bhattar. Such an importance is given to Sri Vaishnava. So that was the discussion.
कवितार्किक सिंहाय कल्याण गुणशालिने श्रीमते वेंकटेशाय वेदांत गुरवे नमः।